Hey everyone, Zach here. Today we're going to be talking about how to target your perfect distributor. Now there's a new round of the limited lead gen funnel giveaway. All you have to do to enter is to be a subscriber and leave a comment down below. So today we're going to be talking about the 10 questions that you need to answer to find your perfect distributor. Now, I learned this from a book called The Ultimate Sales Letter, written by a guy named Dan Kennedy. Now, in the first few pages of the book, he talks about identifying your perfect target, or really getting into their head. This is what you need to do before you make any progress in creating your funnel or sponsoring more people, is identifying who your target is and answering these 10 questions. So I'm going to go over these 10 questions with you and then give you a link down below that you can actually fill this out inside of a Google Doc. Sound good? So go ahead and click the link down below. You can actually download this, follow along. Go ahead and hit File, make a copy, and then you can actually edit it for yourself. Sound good? All right, so number one is what keeps them awake at night? Staring at the ceiling, eyes wide open, what keeps your prospect awake at night? So before you jump into this, clearly you have to ask yourself the question, well, who am I talking about here, right? Who is my perfect distributor? So what you want to identify is who is your perfect distributor? What do their demographics look like? What does their income look like? What does their age range look like? Their ambition level, their leadership ability, their background in network marketing, if any? What does all that stuff look like? And then you can identify who they are and you can answer these questions. So let's think about who they actually are. Well, let's just making a wild, random example. Let's say our perfect distributor is 25 to 35. They already have a corporate job. They already make over $70,000 a year, and they have acceptance of network marketing or maybe a background in network marketing. That's who they are. They are getting a little bit bored with themselves in the corporate world, and they're asking themselves, is there more to life than this? That's our perfect distributor. I made that up on the spot, but let's just pretend that's who it is. So number one is what keeps them awake at night? Eyes open, staring at the ceiling. What's going to keep them awake at night? Maybe it's boredom. Maybe it's unsure what the future looks like. They make good money now, but they're only 30 years old, right? What does life look like when they're 60, 65? They look at, their different contributions to their 401k plan. Is that going to be enough? What keeps them awake, freaking out at night? Now, sometimes in order to answer these questions well, your ideal target could be someone like you, and it's really easy to answer them. Now, if it's not someone like you, first of all, think about, is that what you want? Do you want someone totally different than you? And if it is, that's okay. Just really get into this. Really spend the time to think about this. Question number two is, what are they afraid of? Okay. Now, our example here, they might be afraid of not being able to retire, watching their kids grow up in picture frames rather than with them at home. They're always at work where their kids are playing, right? What are they afraid of? Number three, what are they angry about? Who are they angry at? Well, I know a few friends that fall into this category. They're in their late 20s, they're highly educated, and they're making nothing in comparison to how much their education cost. So I have one friend, I forgot her exact loan amount, but I think it's almost $200,000 at a Ivy League school, or it's close to an Ivy League school, I don't remember, but it's extremely expensive. And she's making like $50,000, $60,000 a year. That's a huge, huge problem, okay? That's a massive discrepancy. She's angry at the education system. Maybe your ideal target is too. Maybe they're not, but who are they angry at? What advice did they follow that didn't get them where they're at? Now, of course, really high-level leaders will blame themselves, but most of us we're angry at something or someone for kind of screwing us in some way. What about your ideal prospect? Who are they angry at? What are they angry at? Figure that out. Number four, what are their top 3 daily frustrations? Think about this. Maybe it's going to work. Maybe it's, again, watching the kids grow up in picture frames. Maybe it's getting bored on the job, okay? Figure them out. Think about them. What are their top 3 daily frustrations? And again, if you don't fully know, get in there. Think about it, because what you're going to do is you're going to write to these things. You're going to communicate to these things in your ideal target, and you're going to have a lot of influence with them. Number 5, what trends are occurring right now or will occur in their life? So for instance, maybe they just got a promotion and they just realized, like, okay, I got more money, but I also have more responsibility. Now instead of working 8-hour days, I'm working 9-hour days. Oh, I just got a team under me in the corporate world, but that comes with a lot more crap, right? I mean, I know for one time I got promoted from, I had no one on my team to like 25 people on my team in the corporate world. Now, in network marketing, that's nothing, but in the corporate world, you have 25 direct people that, you're in charge of. That can be a big jump. And I went from 8-hour days to like 9.5, 10-hour days, and my pay only increased like $5,000 a year. So that's not a big thing. So that was a trend that occurred in my life and that I see occurring in my friends' life that are still in the corporate world, right? That could be a trend. What about a trend that could occur with their finances? Market corrections happen all the time. If your prospect is under 28, 27 years old, they've never been in a real life grown up world in a bad market before. You realize that. I'm recording this in 2019. The crash happened, or the Great Recession happened in 2008. We rebounded in 2009, 2010. That's the past 8 or 9 years of the biggest bull market in history. Bull market means an upward swing. The biggest bull market in history. That means that if your prospect is under 27, 28 years old, they've never been in the adult workforce with a bad market. They have no clue what's about to happen when things take a correction course, right? They have no clue. That's a trend that will occur in their lifetime. You can write to that, right? Number 6. What do they secretly and ardently desire most? What do they want more than anything, right? Probably most people secretly want freedom. Anyone that's going to be looking at you, looking at your content, being a good prospect for you, they're probably desperately going to want freedom in some capacity. I would argue that's probably going to be your answer across the board if you're talking about like wealth creation. Talking about like health and stuff, maybe it's different, but what most people want more than anything is more freedom. Even people that fall on a totally different belief system than freedom, ultimately what they want is freedom. They just might be going about it a different way. So most people want freedom. So I'm kind of giving you an answer there. Number 7, is there a built-in bias to the way that they make decisions? For instance, the example Dan Kennedy gives is engineers are highly analytical. If you're targeting current network marketers, there's a built-in bias to the way we make decisions. We generally have a bit more of a vision mindset. We also think about things in terms of a team. We also think in terms of like lingo or like PV. We talk about points. We talk about downline. We talk about upline. We talk about these different things. That goes on to number 8, which is their own lingo. Okay, so is there a built-in bias to the way they make decisions? Like engineers are very analytical. Salespeople are generally very production-oriented, right? We make more decisions based on vision versus based on anything else. And then their own lingo. Do they use words like points, PV, downline, that kind of thing? Number 9, who is selling something similar to this product that you have and how? So if you're selling a network marketing opportunity, who is selling something similar to you? My guess is a lot of people. Now, what you're going to want to do now is go watch the video on creating yourself a blue ocean. We just recorded that. There's a link down below for it in the description. Go watch that video. And what you're going to find is there's a lot of people directly competing with you if you don't have a way to break yourself off and kind of corner a piece of the market for yourself. Okay? So this question is going to be like, who else is selling something similar to me? Who else is selling a network marketing opportunity with health products? Thousands or millions of people, right? Lots of people. So you need to figure out a way to corner a piece of the market called a blue ocean, make that for yourself. But answer this question anyway. Number 10 is who else has tried selling something similar to these people and failed or maybe even succeeded? This is for you, and you want to either copy them or do the opposite of them, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take these questions and you're going to write your sales pitch, you're going to write your presentation, you're going to speak to these people. You're going to speak directly to these answers when you're talking to your prospect because you know this is what they're feeling, okay? This is the goal. You want to identify exactly who your target is so that you can talk to them. Now, ironically, this couples really nicely with the blue ocean thing I just mentioned that I want you to go watch the video on right now. If you can figure out that blue ocean and you can figure out your target, probably 50% of the work is done for you. You need to figure these two things out, your blue ocean and your target. I just showed you to figure out your target. Go figure out your blue ocean and you are well on your way. This one exercise will probably set you just light years beyond all the people around you in your company and people not in your company too, because most people don't do the work to do this. I gave an example in that blue ocean video. I'll give it to you right now real briefly. We have a client who focuses only on military personnel. He came from the military and he helps military personnel transition from the military to full-time business owners at home. That's his blue ocean. So let me ask you this. Do you think his 10 questions are really well defined? Of course they are. How many people do you think are actually targeting active or former military personnel who are trying to transition to full-time home business ownership? Very few of them. And if there are they actually doing the work I just went through with you to answer those 10 questions, to speak to them in a way that they've never been spoken to? Probably not. He's cornered the market and he's destroying people as a result of it. So that's what I want you to do. Sound good? So go ahead and click the link down below. There is a download to actually fill out these questions. Also, if you want to take the next step, okay, and actually figure out how to put all what you learned here into a leveraged automated recruiting system, I have a free download for you. It's called MLM Rebels Blueprint. Go to MLMRebelsBlueprint.com and it will walk you through everywhere from where you're at now all the way to building a leveraged or automated recruiting system. You can get that totally for free at that link down below. Lastly, if you want to join the private Facebook group, we talk nothing besides using sales funnels and leadership for network marketing. That's MLMsalesfunnels.com. There's a link in the description. And like I said, if you found value in this, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And we'll see you all in the next video. Talk to you soon.